Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. Speaking of bourbon,
Yeah, exciting one.
You're looking forward to it. I'm not, so go ahead and bring it on in.
We've got, bam, this is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C-9 23. Well, you said you're not excited about this, but I am.
The only reason why these were good was because of the 12-year age statement. They don't even have a 12-year age statement anymore, so like what's...
That's true. Why even bother?
Yeah, they fell off the cliff with the last one.
Yep.
And it turned out it was actually pretty great.
What happened...
What's the expectation with this one?
I have high expectations.
Okay.
But so what happened with the last release, everybody knows, Elijah Craig announced they were no longer carrying the actual 12-year age statement. So the last one was... 11 years and 5 months or something. And I think everybody kind of unjustly freaked out about that because they maybe assumed that it was going to mean that the age was going to be lower from now on. So in our last video,
it went up.
If you want to know what an actual bourbon, savant or whatever you want to say I actually called it and I said this. So this one is 11 years and 5 months. So we're getting cheated out of 7 months age, but truth be told, that also may mean maybe the next one's going to be 13 years. We don't know.
So they didn't say less, they just said not exactly 12.
They didn't say they were lowering the age statement. I think they're just saying, when the barrels are ready.
Wow, you did say that. That's
amazing.
I
did say that, yeah. So we do have, this one is 13 years and 7 months. It's bottled at 133. So not only has the age gone up, but the proof has gone up considerably compared to the last maybe 2 years worth of these, because they used to be in the 130s on the regular.
And trying to find this bottle, the amount of effort has also had to go up too, because they're...
Yeah, the B523 is sitting on shelves around here for whatever reason, and it's great. So if you're skipping that one because of the 7 months lower age statement, don't. It was really good. But let's get into this one here.
What are you thinking? Ooh, wow, there's a richness that is... you ever had a chocolate-covered tangerine?
No,
is there
that sounds awful.
I think it's a thing. That's what I got off of this. I don't know why.
You mean like a chocolate orange, like those ones that you break? Okay, not
exactly.
A real chocolate-covered tangerine.
No, I was actually thinking a sliced orange or tangerine or whatever.
What kind of Addams Family weird... Let's get into the bourbon here.
All right.
On the nose, it's got definitely...
A lot of richness, a lot of sweetness from like several different factories that are all working together.
Yeah, it's rich, it's very dark on the nose. It's dark in the glass too. You can see the 13 years coming through and the barrel proof. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wow. That on the first sip has a really nice balance of those great sweet notes and an excellent barrel
on the
spice.
Finish. Like the barrel spice on the finish. Yep.
On the back end
of
it.
This is interesting because it starts out pretty viscous and sweet. Not crazy sweet, but pretty sweet. But then it really dries up.
I was just going to say, it kind of dries out on the finish a little bit.
Does, yeah. And you get the wood spice is noticeable. 13 years is no surprise.
Off of these first 2 sips, I don't know for sure if I'm at the same place that a lot of people seem to be with this one.
I think people are losing their minds about how great it is.
Yeah, like best batch ever, whiskey of the year contender. Now this may fall into a whiskey of the year.
It's pretty good, but I find the finish to be, what's a word that is not quite as extreme as off-putting? The finish is noticeably not my profile.
Do you know how you do that? How you say something that seems kind of like an insult? what they do in the South, you just say, bless your heart before you say it. And so you just say, bless its heart, but the finish is a bit off-putting.
Okay.
So that's what you're looking for there.
Well, I'm not sure I could pull that one off, so bless your heart.
Thinly veiled insult. No, this is fantastic.
It's
I
really
absolutely
good.
love it.
But I will say that I would put Elijah Craig at first or second as my favorite like brand overall for like everything.
Mm-hmm.
I like everything they do. Their basic one is great, and then their barrel proofs are great. This one's actually quite different, I think.
I think so too. It's very tannic.
Yes. And by tannic, we kind of mean bitter and a little bit aggressive.
It's a little bitter.
Yeah.
I feel like there could be maybe a slightly better balance of that tannic barrel note with the sweetness.
Sweetness, viscosity, and the age.
The viscosity is great. I mean, it definitely clings to the glass quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if this is maybe one of those ones where as you sit and spend some time with it, mm-hmm. and as you sit and sip it, it starts to, maybe open up in different ways or different flavors kind of start to showcase themselves.
Yeah.
But on first impression of this, I think it's great, but I don't think this is for everyone.
I would say that's a really good way to say bless your heart.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of, it's like, it's good, and I really like it. I'm certainly gonna enjoy drinking this bottle, but there are a lot of people who don't particularly like when a bourbon gets over oaked. And this is approaching over oaked.
Yeah, it's tiptoeing up to that line pretty aggressively.
Yeah, I think it's really right on the edge of that.
I won't even go there. I was going to say, if they would have released the last one at about 12 years and this one at about 12 years, that all would have been perfect.
Would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So you said you weren't going to go there, and then you immediately went there.
Well, bless your heart.
Yeah, this one, I don't know. I mean, I love it.
I think the flavors on the initial flavors are very interesting. Mm-hmm. And it is a great bourbon in that sense. And it's definitely Elijah Craig, kind of like their style.
Yeah.
But the finish is just shocking.
Yeah, I would say some of my feelings that I'm having about this right now might be...
This is not a channel where we talk about feelings.
It all began in my childhood. No, I just, when you have high expectations, and sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot by having overly high expectations.
You did that.
And I don't know that I did, because, I've had enough Elijah Craig barrel proofs that I kind of know what they generally taste like. Mm-hmm. But it's just so, I had very, very high expectations for it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of landing in a weird sort of middle ground.
I think it exceeds some expectations and it misses some expectations. Mm-hmm. And that's the weird thing, is it tastes really great, but it doesn't hold that. Like it changes. Which is interesting if you're a bourbon nerd.
Yeah.
But if you're used, you own every single one of their barrel proofs for several years.
Yeah.
And we've loved them all. And this one is kind of it's different.
Yeah, this one's definitely a little bit different, for sure. Mm-hmm. A little different than what I was expecting.
I would agree.
A little bit different from the previous ones. Now, maybe the ones from 3 or 4 years ago, before we started getting into these, were a little more on this. But honestly, I think it's the age that I'm noticing. The things that I'm finding that maybe are a little bit off profile for me is that bitter tannic oak note.
The wood spice.
The wood spice. It's approaching over oaked. And
it is.
Again, if that's your thing, then you're going to absolutely love this.
Yeah, totally.
I absolutely love this, and I'm not going to have any problem drinking my way through it, but this is not an everyday pour for me. Mm-hmm. But I think this would probably go excellent with a cigar or something like that.
Nice.
It'll really stand up to...
There you go.
To something like that.
Because the initial flavors are really aggressive and nice.
Yeah.
Like they really bring the flavors.
But definitely that finish. It dries up, gets very tannic, and kind of leaves a bitter...
Yeah.
So we might be alone on Whiskey Tube with our feelings on this bottle, because I'm not prepared to sit here and
talk about how great it is.
Completely freak out and rant and rave about how amazing this one is. It's great, but just a really good bourbon.
Yeah, well, we never get accused of following the crowd.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, this has been Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch C-923 on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Until next time. See you next time.